another wonderful story of a 7-year-old girl and a co-passenger who happens to be a lady, and they're traveling by plane. This little girl finds the air hostess and she makes a request to have a glass of orange juice. The air hostess was probably upset, and so she replied curtly, "If I remember, I'll definitely get it for you." And she moved away from that seat of the little girl. While she was going away, this little girl followed her, and on reaching at her place, she just looked at her and said, "It seems you're quite upset. May I help you?" The air hostess was quite overwhelmed with this behavior of the little girl. She bent down a little and hugged the child and offered her a glass of orange juice. The girl came back and got seated on her seat, and the co-passenger, the lady, she looked at the little girl and asked, "What did you say to the air hostess?" And the reply the little girl gave was remarkable. She said, "My mom has told me that whenever somebody is upset, it's because they're carrying heavy world, this huge world on their shoulders. And that is what is burdening them. And she has also asked me that whenever I find such people who are upset, I just need to go and offer my help so that I can offload the weight from their shoulders." I just did that. Amazing. Now, this is what our parents have taught us in various ways in their teachings to us about life. But I have a question. How many of us actually implement it? Now, the value which the girl depicted was of empathy. Now, this is a value which is very, very close to my heart. Empathy is being in somebody else's shoes, because only the wearer of the shoe knows where it pinches. For the rest of the world, things appear quite greener on the other end. But it's only the person who wears those shoes is able to understand how difficult and challenging the situations in his or her life is. Empathy means going behind the eyeball of the other person and looking at the world from their perspective and understanding what is hurting them, what is making them feel sad or bad, or what has made them feel hurt. It is way above all the good qualities. There is one more thing. Empathy, it has got no script. There is no right way or the wrong way to do certain things. It is just about listening very patiently. It is about holding the space from where the person is coming, their sorrows, their pains, their hurts, their challenges. It is about withholding judgments. It is about getting connected emotionally. It is about communicating to them in very vehement ways that whatever you're going through, you're not alone. And if need be, I am there to support you, and I am there to offer my help in my possible limitations. Now, this kind of healing message, if delivered, relieves the person, even if it means for a very short time. You might find such instances when children are in the age bracket as that of 2 to 3 years old even, when they play and they fight and they hit each other. And when one of them starts crying, the child who has hit him, probably because he or she starts feeling guilty, approaches and with the tiny little hand wipes off the tears. Now, what is this? Empathy. And who taught it at that small age? Probably nobody. So this justifies that empathy is very much naturally overflowing within the hearts of the individuals. Then why is it when we grow as adults seem to forget this lovely virtue? There are many such instances which we will find in our life where people have been empathetic. And being empathetic is no sign of weakness. It is a quality of a stronger person, to feel what others are feeling, to think what others are thinking, to take a step ahead and help them when need arises. People who are self-engrossed or self-absorbed, they are unable to express themselves empathetically to others. And majority of the time, self-absorption kills empathy. And the reason for this is because the person who is self-absorbed is able to loom his or her problems and challenges on a larger scale, on a big picture, only projecting himself and his problems, herself and her problems. And because of this, the size of the world for them contracts. So it remains only to their own self. On the contrary, if there is somebody who feels empathetic with the other ones, then all the problems and the challenges they have in comparison to the others start appearing to be very trivial, very small. And they start looking at the world and the problems in the world on the big picture. That is the difference. So why would we want our world to be contracted when life is so beautiful and it is only given once? Why not we take steps to offer our empathy to people who need it? And now how do we apply this empathy in our life? You can take very small steps, as simple as just passing a smile to a person, irrespective of whether you know the person or you don't. Who knows, probably that's the only smile the person has got throughout the day. Who knows, the small gesture of yours would brighten somebody's day and make them feel it's all going to be fine and the world is not that bad. There are people walking day in and day out to the workplaces or within the family or within your own society. Some of them would be smiling, some won't be smiling. But that doesn't mean they're not carrying this huge world on their shoulders, the world of problem on their shoulders. And many a times it's very heavy. Why not give little time, and when you ask how are you, why not look at them and wait for the reply that they have given and listen very carefully to what they have said. Why are we so much in hurry to just pass by as though this formality or this task of ours is done? मैंने पूछ लिया और उन्होंने कह ही दिया होगा हाँ ठीक है, और क्या फर्क पड़ता है, ठीक है ही तो कहा होगा. जबकि इसका विपरीत भी हो सकता है, शायद उन्होंने धीरे से कहा हो ठीक नहीं. But did you wait to listen to that reply? Probably no. So let's stop and listen and understand. Not just pay attention to the words that have been spoken, but also to the intention and the feeling behind those words. That is what is empathy. And in the end, I would just like to underline, people may not remember what is spoken, but they will never forget the way you have made them feel. And if this is within your reach, allow them to feel happy by your presence, by your deeds, and by your speeches to them, the way you talk to them. Make them feel good. Thank you so much.